Gorgeous. He's just a little ray of sunshine in my life.
So you put a toe in the water?
Yeah.
For art?
Yes.
And you're not so fussed with the idea of working for corporates?
No. Of course, there was this makeup thing that was sort of distracting me, and I thought, oh, maybe I want to be this, like, huge makeup person and go to New York and really try and do that.
What was your ambition about that was pretty clear, wasn't it? That there was a particular thing you wanted to achieve in makeup.
Yeah, I just loved it. I love the artistry of it. It's like painting on a face, so except you're working with a three-dimensional, canvas. Then my husband at the time, Matt, said to me, you know what, I really feel like you should go back to your painting. And I was quite fiery back in the day, and I was quite opposed to the idea of it because I had no idea how to enter the industry, and I thought the idea was just completely ludicrous.
How did you enter it?
Well, he basically made a couple of phone calls, just took a risk and cold called a couple of galleries, and the second gallery that I ended up seeing was Hill Smith Gallery, who I'm still with. And Sam, after many months of me begging and taking him, odd cupcake or through his bribery, he gave me a solo exhibition. So it was within space of, that was in February, and I got an exhibition for October.
It was about this time too that Matt apparently persuaded you to change your name, to drop the Sharon.
Yes. He's a filmmaker, and he made a short film that I acted in. He wrote in the credits, Poh Ling, the film was called Poh Ling, and he said Poh Ling, played by Poh Ling. So everyone that knew me from there on just assumed that was my name.
It sort of works.
A lot of people actually confess, I've always felt really weird calling you Sharon. So it just worked, it worked instantly.
How was it to go through this transition from being Sharon all your life to being Poh?
Well, it's weird because I was actually called Poh Ling till I was 9 in Malaysia. Always had the name Sharon because everyone thinks I got Sharon when I came to Australia. Took it on, but that's not the case. I always had it because in Malaysia, that's, a lot of people have English names. But at home I have a nickname, so I never really got addressed as anything in particular, except for my nickname, which is B.
B?
Yeah, short for baby. It's very basic. And then I was about 24, when I took it on. I began to realise that food is this thread that links me to my past, and that's possibly the only thing that's going to link that past into my future. My Auntie Kim, or Gupo as I call her, has played a very special part in my family's life. She definitely links me to my culture more strongly than anyone in my family because she doesn't speak English. So I have to speak Chinese to her. In a way, I grew up sort of like two mothers, so her and my mum. You still crave for those flavours that you associate with your childhood and all those memories. So that's when I realised, I think this needs to be an important part of my life. The more you cook, the more it becomes addictive because obviously your skills expand. It's a creative process, so you've just got more and more of a palette to work with. And all this just started to create this feverish obsession with food to a point where I'd stay up really late at night and dream up menus and interesting ingredients to put together, and I'd fantasise all the time about, owning my own restaurant.
This is Masterchef, the search for Australia's best amateur chef.
Wow, Masterchef came about. I knew nothing about it, but one of my best friends sent me a text and she said, hey, I think you've got a good chance. Went to the auditions, thought, what am I doing? Queuing outside a hotel with an esky. I'm going to be one of those lunatics that they show in the preview. Going on the show made me realise that I'm a risk taker and that I'm very strong-willed. I'm actually going to do a little dessert on the side because it's something that I always eat with this dish.
You know what happens when you try too much, Poh?
I know.
Good luck.
Thank you. I don't have a great fear of failure because I've learnt so much from my mistakes. And I've just learnt life is a series of interconnected pear shapes.
Life is a series of interconnected pear shapes.
Yes.
I don't understand what you mean.
It's never linear, you know. People always, if you plan everything too much, you're sure to fail. You have to just see where life takes you. And it always goes a bit bad and then it goes good again and
I
then
see.
a bit bad and good again. So it's just allowing yourself to go with your instinct. Sometimes it's wrong, sometimes it's right.
It was a trip back to Malaysia
Yes.
to see your grandfather, which actually led you to be thinking about food in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, back then I wasn't even really thinking that seriously about food, but I just remember having this quite vivid thought. We were all back for a family reunion, and we were all sitting, it's always kids' table, adults' table. I'm still at the kids' table. And my grandfather walked in, a bit morose and saying, oh, look at this, look at all my genes getting watered down and in Australia, and I can't, my grandkids can't even speak to me because, you know, they're all Australian. And then we all sat down, we ate lunch, and it was okay. And I thought, wow, that's really lovely how food still connects us.
Is that true at home too?
Yeah.
Here in Australia?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, I think one of the reasons that I sort of began to be really interested in cooking is because I feel like when I left the church, it really did drive a bit of a wedge between especially my mum and I. And I really saw cooking as a thing that might bring us together again, and it has. It's quite amazing. It's done exactly what I thought it would do.
You don't mean cooking on TV, you mean cooking at home, do you?
Cooking at home, yeah. And the reason why I went on TV was because I really wanted that book deal. And the reason why I wanted the book deal is I want to record all the family recipes. And it's something that my mum and I had talked about for years, but, you know, it's just one of those things you never get around to doing. So I thought, hey, if I go on this show, it might sort of force me to do this. If nothing, I'll do a bit of a crash course with Mum, force me to learn some dishes, and that could be the beginning of something really great.
Well, that helped sort out something for me because I couldn't quite work out the connection between you, the emerging artist that's really throwing your energy into that, and this sort of food line. It seems like kind of a distraction.
I mean, I did cook a lot in the last 3 years. It is something that I've become increasingly obsessed with, and I actually thought, wow, if I had my time again, I definitely would have done an apprenticeship. And I thought this could be my break to fast-track me into the industry somehow. I do find it a strange irony that I've always grappled with my identity, and now I have my own cooking show, and I'm sort of known on a first-name basis. Yeah, it's very strange.
And action!
Bonjour, Emmanuel.
Bonjour.
Welcome back to the kitchen. Now, having all the attention on me is an interesting thing because obviously there is ego involved, and I'm always very aware of that. But yeah, you don't ever want to take it for granted because then you'd actually think you were a star. I hate that whole notion of celebrity. I hate it. It's French.
Chinese.
French with a bit of Chinese.
Well, I like that fusion, Chinese.
Yeah, Chinese. The whole set is actually peppered with my own belongings because I'm like a bowerbird or dung beetle. I just collect things too much. And it's actually much bigger than my own flat, my real flat. It's hilarious because the first time Zed went on set, he cried to go into the garden and he took a whiz on a pot plant. But it's not really outside. He's got a tiny brain, like me. Come on, darling.
What are you actually knitting, Bea?
A scarf. Private time is minuscule. It does get hard, but I guess it's the price you pay when you're on TV. And for that reason, sometimes I wonder how long I could do it for. Jonathan, he's a DJ and he loves like going out and partying, and I'm quite happy having a cup of tea and hanging out with Zed. And he's the softie and I'm probably the more fiery, aggressive one.
What's it done to your personal identity to become such a big public identity?
Obviously, it has its downsides, and, you know, being recognised all the time can get really hard. Because as much as like I said, I'm quite a social person, I can be a bit of a loner, so not being able to get around to just buy a carton of milk to dash to the shop really quickly or whatever, that can get really difficult. And sometimes, because I don't get much downtime, if I'm sort of having dinner with Jonathan or whatever, and suddenly, you know, little small line queues started lining up next to me for autographs or photos or whatever, it gets hard. But at the same time, it's just one of the prices you have to pay for being able to have such an amazing job. I mean, I get to do really incredible things on the show.
When are you most at home with yourself? Is it in front of the canvas, painting?
Yes.
It is it?
Yep.
That's
and
when
I'm
most
cooking
at home.
alone.
When you're cooking alone?
Yes.
Not eating alone, but cooking alone?
Yes.
That's solitary. Both those things are solitary.
I know, yeah. Because when I do those things, I feel completely okay about myself and the world and myself in the world. So whenever I'm feeling if I'm feeling upset or I feel like I'm having trouble resolving something in my head, if I go and cook something or if I paint, it completely dissipates. And I can just rest and be in that moment. So that's why I value it so much.
It's been good talking to you.
Thank you, Peter. It's been lovely talking to you.